So, this mic is garbage. Trash. واضح آدم؟ واضح؟ عمر واضح لك؟ افتقدناك يا أخي للأسف. الله يحفظه. واضح صالح؟ clear طالب؟ Sure. 1 second please. Inshallah.
The first question we have tonight is Assalamu alaikum. What is the core of the Prophet Muhammad's, peace be upon him, message? It is hard because the life of the Prophet ﷺ is so complex, and it'd be very helpful to get a simple summary of his message.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. I disagree with you, unfortunately. With all due respect, we can agree to disagree on this issue. The Prophet's life was not complex. Simple, easy, and plain. Period. He lived among people that were drowning. They were about to drown. He lived in among people that were suffering and needed help. And Allah sent them with that help. His entire life his life as a prophet and a messenger was based on giving the people the help that they needed. It's just that simple. That's it. Why did the Prophet ﷺ preach? Why did he fight? Why did he make pacts and treaties? Why did the Prophet ﷺ make alliances? Why did the Prophet ﷺ have 9? Why? It's all based off of that one original purpose, helping his people. And his people were of two kinds. One, the Arabs, or those that were living among the Arabs, people that came from African ancestry, and that's a long discussion in itself. What is African origin of Arab? That's a long discussion on that. We're not going to get into that. Okay? We're not going to get into that right now. Very important. The concept of the people that spoke Arabic, that's even better. And the people who didn't speak Arabic, that he did not yet meet, for one reason or another, because of time or because of distance. In other words, us, his people, his ummah. He wanted to help out the people that he lived with, he came in contact with, and the people that were going to come after him, or the people that did live during his time, but he did not meet. Everybody understand this? Two types of his people. It's the bottom line. That's what Muhammad's life was, to help his people, to call them to what pleases Allah, and to warn them from doing that which displeases Allah. Period. Tawheed, jihad, salah, zakah, the orphans, the widows, the Quran, kullu shay. Not eating pork, the beard is all included. And pleasing Allah and avoiding displeasing Allah. It's just that simple. Certain things the Prophet started off with, of course, he prioritized, like any wise leader would do. The Prophet, he gave importance, emphasis, he stressed things more than others. But everything he spoke on and he dealt with, there was no stone that was unturned. So someone who says or feels that the Prophet's life and da'wah was complex and confusing, we do not agree with that. We say that there are some Muslims who say that they have the da'wah of Islam, the da'wah of Muhammad, which is complex and confusing. Whether they call the da'wah this or whether they call it that. Whether it's pertaining to physical things, philosophical debates, whatever name or title that's given. That's not based off Muhammad's words, actions, statements, his decisions. What would Muhammad do? It's a different story. Allah knows best. Next question.
Assalamu alaikum. Initials MC from New Jersey. What is the absolute sign that one's menses is over?
Absolute sign that one's menses is over. We say there is no one absolute sign. It's going to depend on woman to woman. There may be some women, the general sign is that there is no more bleeding. Spotting is one thing, light spotting is one thing. colored discharge is one thing, but the general concept of the blood flow, there being blood on the napkin, there being blood on the liner of a woman's underpants, there being blood on a person's bed. That's one thing. And in most cases, when there's light spotting or light color discharge, it's not going to be the same as blood. So that's the general ultimate sign. Some women are different though. There may be a woman, she knows that her menses is on the decline when her back stops to hurt. My lower back isn't hurting anymore. The pains are far less. And eventually when the pain goes away 100%, the menses is done. Even if there is some type of discharge or spotting. But my back doesn't hurt anymore. So I know the menses are finished. Or as the brother said, I'm no longer grumpy. Everybody understand this? Huh? And anything like this. It depends from woman to woman. But that's the general rule. Everybody understand this? And the absolute sign is also going to go back to the woman herself and what type of menses she has. Is your menstruation normal or not? If it is normal and consistent, then you know the light spotting, the discharge on the 7th day is not menses. Just that simple. Or there may be light blood or light spotting that has no smell, no odor, no texture. It's not dark, it's not thick. Based off of what we previously explained. Everybody understand this? So hopefully the question is clear, inshallah ta'ala. Hopefully the answer is clear, inshallah. And if it's not, no problem. Hopefully it's clear.
Sister Fatima from Toronto. Does the hadith of Fatima imply that she had to continue doing wudu for each salah until her next menses?
We didn't get there yet. We said we're going to discuss it in the next class. However, the general rule is that no. Until you make wudu, حتى يجيء ذلك الوقت. That tafsir can mean several things, or several different things about that tafsir. حتى يجيء ذلك الوقت يعني كرري هذه الأفعال: الاغتسال، التوضؤ، النظر في الإقبال والإدبار حتى يجيء ذلك الوقت. Keep doing the same process until the next time. Or make wudu, توضأ لكل صلاة until the next time comes of the next prayer. In other words, what the ulama speak on and discuss of the one who has a constant hadith. Man hadithuhu da'im. A person that's constant wind, constant urination. A person has a problem, a medical condition. I was shot in a car accident. Everybody understand this? I had surgery, so on and so forth. So therefore, I can't control my gas. The person makes wudu when it's time for Salat al-Dhuhr. Once Salat al-Dhuhr comes in, he makes wudu, the sunnah before Dhuhr, after Dhuhr, whatever he wants to do. The moment Salat al-Asr comes in, he must automatically make wudu again. Everybody understand this? That's in brief. Wallahu alam.
Assalamu alaikum, Hani from Toronto. Barakallahu fikum, Sheikh. What is the ruling on singing, particularly a female singing in front of other females?
Wa alaikum assalam wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. There's nothing wrong for a woman to sing in front of other females as long as her lyrics are not lewd, are not vulgar, as long as her lyrics are not means of imitating the kafirat and the fasiqat, the kuffar women, the sinful, dirty, shameless, scandalous women, as long as her lyrics are not calling to di'ara, not calling to baseness, not calling to worshiping the dunya and loving a man with the love of shirk and things like this. As long as the lyrics are good and clean, normal, basic, it's nothing wrong with singing in front of other women. Wallahu ta'ala a'lam.
Assalamu alaikum, Abu Hadiya from Brooklyn, New York. Placing the hands on the chest after ruku, is this bid'ah?
Placing the hands on the chest after ruku, is it bid'ah or not? Imam Tirmidhi rahimahullah and others, they mention that this wasn't a big major issue among the Salaf al-Salih. Some of them said put it on the chest, others said put them back down to the side. And to say that it's a bid'ah based off of the speech of Imam Tirmidhi and others, I feel is very difficult. I feel it's difficult to say that. Wallahu ta'ala alam.
MC, New Jersey. In some cultures, when someone dies, people come together to recite Quran. Is this based in the Sunnah?
No. Next question.
Same questioner. Does that mean spotting is not considered to be part of menses? Or does one wait until there's complete clear discharge? And this is for a girl/woman with a regular period.
If a woman has normal days, she goes back to her days. My menses are no longer than 5 days. So on the 6th day, small spots, yellow, brown discharge is not considered menses, as Atiyah radiallahu ta'ala anha narrated. Wallahu ta'ala alam.
Assalamu alaikum, Adam Albani from Brooklyn. If you miss a salah and the next salah is already in, which salah do you do first?
It depends on where you are, Adam. If you're in the congregation, you're in the masjid, they're making salah, it's one scenario. If you're home, that's another scenario, Saleh. And it also depends on what time you wake up. You miss Salat al-Asr and Maghrib is about to go out. Obviously, you make Salat al-Maghrib first. It doesn't make sense for you to miss 2 prayers. But if there's plenty of time to make Salat al-Maghrib, you make Salat al-Asr, then Salat al-Maghrib. And that's a long issue in itself based off of the mas'ala al-af'al al-mujarrada. أن النبي عليه الصلاة والسلام الصحابة لما ناموا عن الصلاة كيف يكون القضاء بالترتيب أم لا؟ عرفت كيف؟ بس القصد هو المسألة هذه تنبني على تلك الحكم الفقهي ينبني على المسألة الأصولية. طيب والله أعلم. لا هو ممكن لكن طيب تفضل. You say you had a question يا أخي.
Sorry, it's not related.
طيب.
What is the ruling on hijrah?
The ruling on hijrah. We say if a Muslim can make hijrah without going through harm, major harm to himself, his family, his wealth, then bi'idhnillah it's a very good thing that he should do if he has the ability to do so. If he has the ability to do so. The issue is not agreed upon by all of the ulama. Some of them, they say that it's optional, especially in a place in which a Muslim can practice his or her deen with pride. That's very important. Mu'tazan bidinhi. That a person can hold fast to his religion and hold his head up high without being persecuted for being a Muslim. In any meaning of the word pride. Because pride pertains to dress code. Pride pertains to where you live, your work ethics, all types of things pertain to pride. Everybody understand this? So if you can be a proud Muslim, and there's no one stopping you from making the obligatory acts of your religion, then some of the people now say that it's not mandatory, especially in 2017, when there's many, many difficulties in traveling, let alone hijrah. And there are others from the people of knowledge of the past and of the present who say the exact opposite. They say the exact opposite to Mammon. They say in 2017, the ruling of hijrah, the obligation of hijrah is what? Even more. Even more. It's more dangerous to live in Australia. It's more dangerous to live in Canada. It's more dangerous to live in the UK. It's more dangerous to live in America because of the widespread evil, persecution of Muslims, let alone homosexuality, lesbianism, LGBT, in the cartoons, the storybooks, 2 fathers, 2 bears raising a little baby bear. Not a mama bear and a papa bear anymore. Wa'iyadu billah. It's a reality. 2 papa bears. This is sick. Wa'iyadu billah. So some ulama, they say it's the exact opposite. That is أصبح حكم الهجرة الوجوب آكد. Because it's even more dangerous. So therefore, that's the general advice that we give you. If you have a fear, you fear that you're going to lose your deen, or be put through a harm, or put through a fitna, and you have the ability to make the hijrah, then do it. If you don't have the ability, if there is no country that is allowing you to go there and live there and stay there for the practice of religion, then try your best and fear Allah wherever you are. And don't think that the grass is not always greener on the other side. You may go to a Muslim country or Islamic country, quote unquote, whatever that's supposed to mean in 2017. This is reality. And it might just be as worse as America. If not worse. If not worse. There are many people, and I'm not saying don't make hijrah, I'm just shedding light on the reality. Some people that go overseas to study, I've seen brothers personally that lost their deen in Medina. Lost their deen. In America, Philadelphia, pray in Jama'ah. bold, beard, studious, pious, righteous. Went to Medina for one reason or another. Just lost it. Too easy, too simple. Everybody's Muslim. No one is this. I don't have to watch my back. Kada. I can fool people. I can trick people. They're slower than me mentally, so on and so forth. So it's a reality. So whatever you're practicing your deen strongly, firmly, and nothing is coming and stopping you, coming in the way between that, then that's a good thing. If you have the ability to live among the Muslims, to be among the Muslims, to learn Arabic, to learn Quran, to have your children, then that's obviously, Assalamu alaikum. Marlo. Yeah, that's obviously what? Better. That's obviously what? Better. There's no doubt about that. And there are many benefits of living among the Muslims. For yourself, for your wife, for your children. There are many things that you can't apply if you do not live around among Muslims. Many, many things. But, you go even deeper than that, there's some things that you can't apply living among Muslims until you live among Islam, which is a difference. It's a difference. So it's detail in the issue. We've done a lecture, several lectures on it on the Hadith Disciple channel. We've done translations. We've also done a workshop and a conference on Hijrah in Islam. It's on the channel. Wallahu alam. Further, show him.
Whenever you get a chance, carrying book, carrying notes, would there be a conflict of interest, or maybe taking somebody's rank if you do it at your place of employment? You keep the notes on the side, you glance at it, and you review it in your head.
As long as it doesn't go against your job, as long as it doesn't prevent you from doing a good, thorough job, there's nothing wrong with it. There's nothing wrong with it, especially if it's well known. The boss says, I know you have Sports Illustrated. Some brothers you may have other than that, or just non-Muslims. It's known. You have magazines, you have books, whatever you do, as long as we get the what? Work done. When a call comes, you answer it. A delivery comes, you take it. Something pops up on the screen, this, that, I don't care what you listen to, what you watch, I don't care why not? And it wouldn't be smart, it wouldn't be wise for us to say, no, you have to give them their rights because, It's not reality. It's not what? It's not reality. Everybody says it's not what? It's not reality. So as long as you can do a proper job, benefit from your time, maximize, kill two birds with one stone, make the nice subhanahu wa ta'ala. But the moment it's prohibited, different story. The moment say no cell phones, no books, no tablets, that's what? Different story. No religion in the school. Your job is a social studies teacher. That's it. Do not come professing Islam, Christianity, Judaism, period. That's a different story. But if they don't mind, if there is no rule and you can perform the job, then utilize your time, and you should be stingy with your time. As the people of knowledge say, a student of knowledge should be more stingy with his time than an old miser with his wealth. Scrooge, as they say. Scrooge is stingy with every coin. Orphans, so what? Orphanage, so what? Let the orphans work, get their own money. This is my money, I earned it. That's the mentality of what? I don't have time to sit to laugh, to joke. When I go into Starbucks, here, there, I have to study, I have to read, I have to benefit. Obviously, there's a balance in that as well. Wallahu alam. Fadal.
So I have been praying for a couple of days due to a very high fever. But I just realized that I made a mistake with this ritual because I saw the below the step was referring not to only the face but also the arms and the hands. So do I have to repeat all my prayers, or because I haven't done anything intentionally, then should I just sincerely beg Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to forgive?
Repeat the question, please.
So I have been praying tayammum for a couple of days.
I've been doing tayammum, making salat based off of tayammum for a couple of days. Tahir. Fadal.
Due to a very high fever.
Due to a very high fever. Tahir.
I just realized that I made a mistake with this ritual because I saw the last step that stated that I should repeat the process of striking the ground as I rub my face, and referring not only to the face but
Yani, the person is saying, I feel that I make my tayammum in the wrong way because I hit the ground, I wipe my face, and then I didn't hit the ground again. Right. Continue the question.
So basically, should he repeat all his prayers, or because he didn't do anything intentionally, ask Allah?
Do not repeat the prayers. The tayammum is made in a proper way, saying Bismillah, hitting the dry matter, the dry earth, wiping the face, right hand, left hand. No arms, no armpits, no shoulders, no two double strikes. That's the correct way of making tayammum. No sin upon you, no salats that you have to make up. Please go back to the video, the tutorial that we did, me and Nafis, on tayammum on Hadith Disciple channel. It was Brooklyn, Sheepshead Bay.
I did not do it.
Sorry, we did it. I didn't record myself. Sorry, wallahu alam. Clear, inshallah.
Yes, alhamdulillah.
Inshallah, we need to make a playlist of all the tutorials that we've done. There's been a few. Inshallah. Sorry, if there are no more questions, we'll stop.
I got one question here. Assalamu alaikum. May Allah bless you. What is the rule on a woman who has a hormonal imbalance like PCOS and her menses isn't regular, and when it comes, she bleeds up to 20 days?
Sorry.
All of women in her family bleed between 7 and 10 days.
Sorry. We say that a menstruation cycle should not be more than 8 days. Period. Rather, one could say 7. The menses should not be longer than 7. Right? 7 to 8 days. So therefore, if there's no way of you distinguishing, if there's no way of you keeping track of what is when there's a menses, play it safe and go with the days of your family members. And I would personally say, keeping things brief is a whole different long mas'ala. أكثر الحيض مسألة طويلة متشعبة أقل الحيض أكثر الحيض. I would say right now, make your menstruation 8 days. The 9th day, 10th day, 11th day, it is not menses. What's important is that find out when do the women in your family have their menstruation. The beginning of the month, middle of the month, end of the month, or sporadic. If it's sporadic and there's no set frame of the month, then make for yourself the first 8 days of every month. And that's it. Make it yourself the first 8 days of every month. The 9th, 10th day, no mince. Wallahu alam.
Assalamu alaikum. Jay from the UK. Any advice the beloved Mufti can give regarding marrying an older woman? It is looked down upon in many cultures. The fact that I know it will be looked down upon is bringing doubts into my mind. Barakallahu feekum. May Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala keep you steadfast. P.S. A brother recommends a sister 25 years of age. I am 22. She happens to be of same cultural background as me. I have a second question regarding the correct way to perform Salat al-Istikhara, as I have never done this before.
Sorry. If the sister's 3 years older than you, then the first thing you need to look at is her religion, her deen. She make 5 salats in a day. She fasts on Ramadan. Has she made hajj yet? If she has money, she pays zakah. Does she wear hijab, tight hijab, or loose hijab? She walk outside with perfume, lipstick, lip gloss, mascara on, green under her eyes, on top of her eyes blue. This is important. This is very sad reality as well, unfortunately. Among many brothers, daughters, and wives. They come outside, they have all types of colors on their faces, unfortunately. What type of hijab does she wear? Khimar and pants? Abaya, hijab? She have shyness? Is she rude to her parents? Is she disrespectful to her mother? Does she have a sharp, long tongue? What type of akhlaq does she have? If she has good deen, good akhlaq, she knows some Quran, she can read some Quran, she memorizes Juz Amma, a little bit of Tabarak, here and there, Mulk, Qalam, just a bit, yeah, things like this. She knows a little Arabic, Kayf Halik, so on and so forth. She read a Surah Thalatha, a couple other books. She has a good deen. She's good akhlaq, good character. She's pious, she's a good sister. Then those are the most important things that you need in a wife. That's what the things are going to really make you and keep you happy. If she's beautiful, on top of those things, alhamdulillah. If she's not beautiful, she's not gorgeous, she's cute, she's not something that's just like unsightly where you can't stand looking at her. If she's lookable, let alone pretty, let alone beautiful, then that's even what? Nur ala nur. That's even better. Everybody understand this? Everybody clear on this? If she has other skills, such as skills in the dunya, she can cook, she's an artist, she's this, she's smart, she's educated, then that's even what? Even better. Cooking is important as we established. Now, that's even what? That's even better. Brother says sihr, That's even better. Everybody got this? That's even what? That's even better. As far as the age, if she fits the deen and the character, and she makes you happy, and she makes you pleased when you look at her, those are the most important things. Where she comes from, what she looks like. Her skin could be as white as snow. It could be black as coal. What she looks like is secondary to her deen and to her akhlaq. If she's of your preferable pigmentation and complexion, your preferable height, your preferable weight, so on and so forth, then that's even what? That's even better. If you're not caught up over the age, if it's not a problem to you, you don't feel insecure, it's not a big deal to you, and she's a good akhlaq, good deen, she's pretty, she's going to make you happy, then put your trust in Allah and marry the sister. Put your trust in Allah and marry the sister. As far as if you have a problem marrying an older woman, which many men do, and some men don't. Some men have a rule, never marry a woman who's older than you. Some men say it's nothing wrong. I like older women, one may say. Everybody understand this? It depends from person to person, man to man. That's your own personal what? Discretion. Your own business. However, if you yourself, if it's not a problem with you, and she has the other things, bismillah. And don't worry about what the culture says, and what the people say, and your parents say, and this and that. Because your parents, no matter how much they have an influence in your life, you live with them, or whatever the case may be, they're not going to be with you alone in the bedroom. When you wake up in the morning, when you go to sleep at night, when you have an argument, they're not going to be with you. They're not going to be in your household. And if they are, something's wrong. Which many cultures, they do this, unfortunately. Unnecessary involvement and intruding of the parents, especially the mother. It's very scary and it's very dangerous. A woman, a mother is not to dictate what goes on in her son's bedroom. A father is not to dictate how a girl is to deal with her husband. And I'm saying this openly for all fathers who are listening. Whatever background you come from, black, Arab, Pakistani, this, whatever the case may be, that's not Islam. Something's wrong when you're intruding on someone's personal business and dictating to them what they should and shouldn't be doing. That's wrong. And it is disastrous in a marriage. Disastrous. So therefore, if it's not a big problem for you, and she has good akhlaq, good deen, she's pretty, she's nice, then marry the sister. As far as if you feel insecure, you don't like older women, you want a woman that's younger than you, that's how most people are. They marry younger women, men get old, men age faster, men die, etc. It's a different story. If you're afraid of your parents, or you're scared about what they're going to say about you, you can't bear them. I can't look my father in the face knowing that I disobeyed him. This is a reality. This is real. I can't bear the shame of my mother saying that you didn't listen to me. Then don't do it. But if it doesn't matter to you, and if the person's going to make you happy, put your trust in Allah and do it. If you find a sister, this is my last piece of advice. If you find a sister that has good akhlaq, equal or better, good deen, equal or better, good looks, equal or better, the other ingredients, the cultural things, and she's younger, then I would advise you to marry a girl that's younger than you. But with that stipulation. This one's deen and akhlaq is here, and the 19-year-old girl is down there. Take the 25-year-old. But if they're equal or very close, or you find one with better akhlaq, better deen, and she's younger, that's what you should do. Marry a girl that's younger than you. That's the general rule, general advice. If the akhlaq and the deen are heavier with a 25-year-old, then do what? Marry her. And don't worry about this one and that one. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala knows best. Fadl.
Question online. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullah. Was it common among early mu'mineen to perform wudu before every salah, even if they believe they have not broken wudu?
It's recommended for a person from time to time to renew the wudu. Permissible, nothing wrong with that, with renewing it. There's nothing wrong with that. It's not mandatory. As we know in the authentic hadith of the Prophet ﷺ, hadith of Umar ibn Khattab, the Prophet ﷺ, he did something that he never did before. He made all of the salah with one wudu. So it's permissible to make salat with one wudu. If you want to renew the wudu, refreshing your ibadah, refreshing yourself, there's nothing wrong with that. That's the bottom line. Wallahu alam.
Also, the orphan is considered a child. The question is also, the orphan is considered a child losing father before maturity? Yes. How about if the child losing the mother before puberty and father is still alive?
We say in the Arabic language, and based off of that, the Islamic tradition, the yatim is the child who loses his or her father before the age of maturity. As far as losing the mother before the age of the maturity, and the father is still alive, still on the scene, then in the Arabic language and in Islamic tradition, this person is not considered a yatim. He's not considered an orphan. Rather, I would say in English, they still aren't considered an orphan. In most cases, an orphan is the child who has what? No parents. They lost both of them. Let alone if the father, the breadwinner, the protector, the hunter-gatherer, the one who runs the hut, he brings home the animal over his shoulder, he makes the fire, he protects. If he's alive, then it's even further from the child being a what? An orphan. In Arabic, in Islam, and in Western culture. And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala surely knows best.
Mrs. MC from New Jersey, can you make an intention in the middle of an act? How does one purify their intention?
Can you make the intention in the middle of an act? How does one purify the intention? First of all, it depends on the act. If it's fard, that's one thing. Something that's nafil, shouldn't be done. The intention should come in the beginning. The niyyah, in most cases, is from the shurut of the ibadah. And the shart, ma yataqaddam, is that which comes before al-ibadah, for which that thing is a shart. So therefore, salah, hajj, things like this, but hajj let's leave out for now, because that's a bit different. There's detail with regards to hajj and umrah. Okay? Fixing, turning your ihram. The Prophet ﷺ's hajj, how did he start off his hajj? But let's just deal with salah, for example. Your niyyah has to come from the beginning. And you don't switch it and change it in the middle. You don't what? Switch it and change it in the middle. Everybody understand this? Or let's say method in wudu. A person makes wudu with the intention that they broke their wudu. And then in the middle of the wudu, they remember, I never broke my wudu. So instead of quitting the wudu and stopping the wudu, let me just make it for tajdeed. That's one thing, labas. But something in which is fard, different story. In which you have to do it, that's different what? It's a different story. As far as purifying the intention, then we say, first and foremost is knowing the greatness of Allah. Knowing the greatness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Then knowing the littleness of Allah's creatures. How small and minute the people are. They can't do anything for you. They can't help you. They can't harm you. They can't forgive you. They can't put you in the paradise. Let alone the nature of men. The nature of men or the nature of man. One day someone's your friend. The next day you're an enemy. One day they're your student. The next day they're refuting you. One day you're a husband. The next day he's divorcing you, taking you to court. One day she's your wife. The next day you were never no good. You never did anything for me. I never saw ma ra'aytu minka khayran qat. I never saw no good from you. This is the nature of man, unfortunately. So once you realize this and you notice, why would you do something for them? Why would you show off for them? Why would you even consider what they think and feel? If this is the nature of man, who's ignorant, who's oppressive, who's hasty, who's unloyal. Everybody understand this? Let alone people that you specifically know about that are not noble people. Everybody understand this? So Allah Azza wa Jalla is the one who gives, who takes. He's the one who benefits, he's the one who harms, subhanahu wa ta'ala. In his hand, Azza wa Jal, is all good. And that was the advice of the Prophet ﷺ to Ibn Abbas, the young man. If the people came together to help you, they couldn't help you unless Allah wrote it down. Unless Allah wrote it down. If the people came together to harm you, they couldn't harm you unless Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala wrote it down. So that's the bottom line. These are all ways of you performing the ibadah correctly with the pure intention. And knowing the words of the Prophet ﷺ that he said regarding Allah. Allah said, subhanahu wa ta'ala, أَنَا أَغْنَى الشُّرَكَاءِ عَنِ الشِّرْكِ مَنْ عَمِلَ عَمَلًا أَشْرَكَ فِيهِ مَعِي غَيْرِي تَرَكْتُهُ وَشِرْكَهُ أَوْ كَمَا جَاءَ فِي هَذَا الْحَدِيثِ. It says, Allah Azza wa Jalla says, anyone who does an act in which he makes shirk with me, I will abandon him and I will abandon the act. So showing off, Doing things to be seen, to be heard, to be recognized is from the greatest of sins and from major means of being punished on the day of judgment. And a person, last but not least, is to be mindful of the trick and the trap of the shaitan, whereas the shaitan will get a person to think that don't do the ibadah because your intentions aren't right. Don't improve yourself. Don't cover properly. Don't try to pray properly. Don't go to the masjid because you know the intentions are not right. That's a trick of shaitan. When will my intentions get right? When will I ever do it? You have to get yourself in gear. And sometimes, not all the times, but sometimes you're being embarrassed in front of people, or you feeling that it's not right, I have to do better, is a means of pushing you and winding up your gearbox, winding it up. Everybody understand this has to be wound. Everybody understand this? Then to move by itself. So sometimes you having a good friend, or the masjid, the people don't see me, the people this, that inspires you to do the right thing. Everybody understand this? It inspires you to do the right thing. And then obviously you know it has to be for Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, but it pushes you because you're ashamed and embarrassed. Everybody understand this? As the Prophet ﷺ says, if you have no shyness, then do what you please to do. Do whatever you want to do if you have no shyness of the people. If you have no shyness of Allah first and foremost, shyness of yourself, self-respect, shyness of the people as well. Wallahu ta'ala alam. هذا وصلى الله وسلم وبارك على عبده ورسوله نبينا محمد جزاكم الله خيرا.